I appreciate Coach Huffman because I feel like he's taught me a lot of lessons as far as that. He made me earn every single rep that I've gotten over my time at Bellevue West. I came in as a freshman, played JV, got a few, cleanup time minutes towards the end of some of the games. And then sophomore year, the very last week of freshman year, got 2 offers. And obviously that kind of builds some hype coming in. But Coach Huffman, he's had enough guys. He don't care about offers. You got to come in and earn it.
Sure.
Yeah. And ended up rotating the first couple of games with Luke Johansson, who was a dude. And then he ended up, fully winning the job the rest of the year. That ended up losing in the playoffs to Westside. And then so the year after that, I knew, it was going to be my year. There weren't any other guys in the QB room because Luke was leaving. So I think. And especially if you turn on the tape, you can just see, the work that I put in over the offseason as far as getting bigger, faster, stronger, developing really every avenue of my game. But like I said, it taught me a lot of lessons of, being patient, but also, like, I have to earn everything. Nothing's just going to be given to me, especially, the higher levels of football that I play.
All right, welcome to the Let It Fly show. I am Michael Severe. He is, of course, Central Eagle and Creighton Blue Jay Josh Jones, the legend, 3-time state champion.
Hey, you know what, man? I appreciate it.
I know a secret that there's a big spotlight story coming up that's going to be done on Josh coming up soon. And so you'll even see how big of a star he is very soon. Welcome, of course, to what's going to be in the Let It Fly Sports Bar, the podcast there. We know about the studio there, all the TVs. But I want to remind you to go to the website. Keep checking in. June 16th is opening day.
Yep.
Not just for that big tournament happening downtown, but also for the sports bar.
Yeah.
Go down there. Go onto the website, letitflysportsbar.com. You can get a $100 gift certificate. We'll give you $125, an extra $25 on there as well. So you can buy all the great food. You can get that 800-degree oven, get you some pizza, all kind of stuff.
We got
a bet. Remember?
Yeah.
Don't forget about our bet.
Wait. I was trying to think about that.
So the bet is you're saying that Nebraska's going to go 0-2.
I said Nebraska will go 0-2.
Going to Minnesota, going to Colorado.
Exactly.
I said at least
1-1.
Yes.
I know. I remember. Yeah.
Steak dinner.
We're going to keep that going until it happens.
Wings or whatever that is. I also want to remind you about Omaha Steaks. Do a great job since 1917, providing food to restaurants all across the metro area and across the country as well. We got a good show for you.
Yep.
Loaded show. In terms of mom and son, probably the greatest duo ever in Nebraska history. Jaylen Lloyd, who is
I can say that
triple jump record holder. He is long jump record holder. And his mom, Dahlia, who was Dahlia Ingram at Nebraska, 9-time All-American there. We're going to be joined by them as well to talk about Jaylen handing on to going to Nebraska to play football and track, and about Dahlia's career as well. But that's always cool.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if your mom was a better athlete than you?
I was thinking about that, man. His mom is like all-time great.
All-time great.
Yep. I mean, it is kind of cool just to have be braggadocious about, hey, my mom is, my mom is Cheryl Swoops.
My mama, I'll jump you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's tight. That's tight.
Plus, she was the director at Child Savings Institute when my kids were going.
Wow.
Yeah. I
think she's doing stuff with Epic for girls now,
That is awesome. That is cool. Yeah,
for sure.
That is really
It's
cool.
not enough light shown upon the girls in the inner city.
No doubt.
So I can't wait to talk to him.
And our other guest is going to be Daniel Kaelin, the quarterback Bellevue West, who, of course, decommitted from Missouri. We're taping on a Tuesday. It was last week, where he decommitted, and then the next day decided Nebraska going to be his place, of course, after Dylan Raiola picked Georgia. That's one of those situations where it must be hard to call a school that wanted you, that you committed to, that's probably done everything they could to keep you, and you got to tell them, hey, home, I ain't never coming home.
But the other side of that is they recruited him heavily.
They did.
I mean, every day, persistently, it seemed like. I mean, every time I read a blog about it, it was like Missouri. Mm-hmm. So I can only imagine the phone call and who was around him on his side, his parents or whoever, just to call coach. But I respect, though. He probably,
dream school.
He did it himself.
Yep.
So you got to give it to him.
No doubt, of course. And then he'll also be, I hope, pushing Davon Hall and Isaiah McMorris to join him in Nebraska.
Exactly.
Both those guys, of course, are going to have big senior years.
Especially McMorris.
Yeah, that kid's a good. I think he might already be 19.
I think so.
You got
Jaylen
Lloyd, who we'll talk to earlier, just turned 17.
Right.
And I think that McMorris will either is 19 or will be turning 19.
But it's two new things. It really wasn't talked about as much, like kind of in the last decades, but the reclassification of kids.
Yeah.
A lot nowadays it's more so for school competition. So
yeah, and he moved around too. He went from one school to another. Here's what Kaelin said to 24/7 Sports when he changed. He goes, "I envisioned myself playing in a Nebraska uniform and walking out the tunnel at Memorial Stadium since I moved to Nebraska when I was 8. Growing up in Nebraska, you can't escape Husker football. The fan base is incredible, and they always show support, whether you're winning or losing games. I think Husker football is unlike any other program."
That's all facts.
That's why he made the decision. 6'3", 205. He had over 3,100 yards passing, 36 touchdowns. He is the number 24th ranked quarterback in the country, and we will chat with him, of course.
Can't wait,
coming
bro.
up. Now, it looks like, again, this is Tuesday, so Miami hasn't closed out the Celtics yet, but they're up 3-0, and no one's ever come back from 3-0 in basketball.
It's not about to be too sweet, bro.
So if it may be, it may not be, but it looks like we're going to have the Heat and we're going to have the Nuggets in the finals. Now, most people did not predict that combination coming into the playoffs. You had an 8 seed, and then you had a Nuggets team that a lot of people looked at and said, well, maybe Golden State will win it.
Right.
Maybe the Lakers will win it.
I was the Golden State guy.
There's a lot of people like that. Your feel, if that's the two teams we have in the finals?
My feel is probably lower ratings. You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Lower ratings, smaller market teams. Well, smaller market, Denver. You know,
Miami's not a huge market.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. It's just not a big TV
market. But LeBron went there and turned them up.
Sure.
You know, so people going to have the nostalgia from that.
Sure.
But for me, I think, you know, I'll say this about it before I shine the light on it. I was talking about Nikola Jokic, and I said the Joker. And my wife was like, the who? And I'm like, man, you don't know about the Joker?
Right.
You know, and I had to.
Dude, nationally it's like that.
No, but fun fact.
Nationally.
This could be wrong. You know, Google a fact check. I'm going to ask Ryan Miller. It was Mike Miller who gave him the name, the Joker.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yep.
So, but anyway, I mean, Joker, the best player in the league. You said it.
He is.
I agree.
He's the best player in the league.
I mean, sweeping the Lakers is almost like it's like you expect it, but you don't expect it because they got LeBron James.
Sure.
You know, but the way Jokic has been playing, like a walking triple-double and all that type of stuff, I think it's their year.
The biggest thing is that he makes everybody who plays on the court with him better.
Yeah.
We say that all the time as a routine, but just look at some of the guys' careers before they got with him.
Right.
And how they've gotten better.
I consider him a point center, bro.
He is. He is. He's a point center.
My God.
Here's what LeBron said after this week. Now, he got 40 in Game 4, but they still lost.
Right.
He said, we'll see what happens going forward. I don't know. I got a lot to think about. To be honest, I got a lot to think about. Just personally, with me moving forward with the game of basketball, I got a lot to think about. Now, that made people go, is he going to retire?
No,
he's not going anywhere.
Nah.
I give you 3 reasons why he's not retiring.
Go ahead.
1, he's got over $100 million still left on the contract.
Oh,
I know he's rich, but he's not leaving $100 million
on the table.
He said multiple times he wants to play with his son, Bronny.
Yes.
Bronny's going to be in college 1, maybe 2 years.
Right.
That means 1 or 2 more years for LeBron for sure.
Right.
And then the last one is, I'm not saying he's a narcissist.
But
he loves him.
He loved that.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Whenever he does go away, he's going to have, just like Kareem did, just like Kobe did, he's going to have that going away.
Retirement tour?
Every city he goes to the last time, they're going to give him something, big tribute. He wants that. Trust me. He wants that.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing. I mean, you're a legend. You're one of the greatest players of all time. You want it.
I can get
so all 3 of those reasons is why he's not going anywhere.
No, that's facts.
Even though all those talking head shows can speculate, homie is not going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
And he's definitely not going out swept.
No.
That's like the last memory he's having to play basketball.
No doubt. You know, I agree. I mean, it's not even that the Lakers are old. I mean, LeBron James obviously is in his 20th season and all, but I just think they're I'm not gonna say young. They're very inexperienced at those other positions.
2 spots.
D'Angelo Russell. Oh my God,
he played horrible.
He might have tricked his contract.
I've never seen anybody. I don't think anybody's ever had a worse plus minus over the course of a series as he has.
He's probably lost money.
His plus minus is horrible.
Shout out to Austin Reeves. He was balling.
He played well.
But
how quick of a This is not me being racist.
Yeah.
But I was truly surprised by how quick his first step is.
For sure.
It's sudden. Yeah. He reminds me, I'm old now, Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
That's who he looks like at times. He's got that kind of skill.
I mean, I just think they just don't get. They didn't have enough, and I mean, I think about Charles Barkley always calling AD street clothes.
I know.
I mean, they just have. I mean,
and he's been healthy throughout the playoffs. I mean, it's not AD.
Right.
I mean, he had 19 and 14 maybe yesterday or in that final game. He didn't play poorly. They need more guys.
Yeah.
They need, and I hope it's not Kyrie, but maybe it'll be Kyrie. But they got to add people.
But is it more Denver or more Lakers?
I think Denver's just that good.
I think so,
and
too.
Joker's just that good.
Yeah.
And Murray's that good.
I think so, too.
Porter's good. I mean, they got even Gordon.
For sure.
At times, you're like, okay, there's a spot for him.
Yeah.
And he's better because of things that Joker does.
I wish he can shoot.
Yeah, and he can't shoot.
But I mean, they're gelling well, man.
But Miami, listen, I know people are they're gonna have Miami as a big underdog in the series. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Spoelstra is a great coach.
I told you.
One of the best ever.
In the last 3 years.
Yeah.
He's one of the top coaches.
And when it's an underdog role, he's even better. And he's going to be an underdog role. And so don't think to yourself, just because Denver's played the way they have, and don't sleep on Miami's defense and the way Jimmy Butler plays.
The last game, the way Jimmy Butler had that run of buckets over and over.
Yeah.
The way that he was playing was Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant like.
Oh, yeah, he took over.
It was aggressive.
Yeah.
He was attacking.
He was talking to.
Yeah, like imagine having that mentality every game, every night, both sides of the ball, 20 years.
Well, it's that heart. Yeah,
that's what Michael Jordan looked like.
Yeah, that's what. So Jimmy Butler's been underestimated every step of his career.
Right.
From being in middle school to high school to being homeless to being in college to not respecting him to the draft. He's always had that. So he's got a chip on his shoulder bigger than the Times Square. I mean, it's just huge.
Who win it all?
I'll be cheering for Miami
for sure
because I would cheer for Jimmy Butler. And I have no feeling towards Denver.
Yeah,
like, and I just don't. But I would like to see Jimmy Butler win. But if Denver wins, it won't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, either team wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah, I hope it goes long. I hope it goes 7 games.
I do believe though it will be a very competitive, must-see TV series. Though,
yeah, it's gonna be a good
despite
series.
of it being low. But I'm happy though for Denver, man, for the fact that I feel like it brings so much light besides to the city. You know, I think it makes I don't think it waters down the NBA brand of basketball because Jokic is that good.
Yep.
And Jimmy Butler is that good.
No doubt.
I'm kind of deciding who's going to be the face of 2K.
On all-time great will win the series.
For sure.
That's what happened. All right, when we come back, Jaylen Lloyd and his mom, Dahlia, we'll chat with them next when we come back here on Let It Fly Show. All right, welcome back to the Let It Fly Show. Special guest with us. Mom and son.
No. Special guest.
Oh, yeah, I would say mom and son special guest. Perhaps the greatest mother-son athletic combination in the history of Nebraska. Dahlia Lloyd joining us here, and her son Jaylen Lloyd as well here on the Let It Fly Show. We appreciate you guys coming in.
No problem.
Absolutely.
I remember graduating from high school and then going to college like months later. You just finished high school, and you're going to be down in Lincoln in a few days?
Yeah.
Man.
What's that turnaround feel like for you?
It's quick, but it's kind of been like that with me my whole life, doing summer track, which ends in like June, and then turn around to starting summer football or going to football camps. I'm usually take like a week off.
Yeah.
And then just to get my mind right, my body healed, and then get right back to it.
Wow.
So what is it like, the transition so quick? Why are you going down there so early? Is it because you about to do school and workouts, or what is it? Or you just want to get down there early?
It's the football team is they have us come down early to start off, like, because the season's about to start, so we got to get down there and learn to play. Everybody has to go down there.
Camp starts June 3rd?
June 5th, I think.
June 5th?
Yeah.
Man,
Okay,
you didn't even get the chance to walk across the stage, really.
Yeah, I just graduated 2 days ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the feeling like for you, Mom, for Dahlia?
Look at you looking so proud.
I know you're obviously proud, but him going away, what's that feeling like?
Yeah, I'm extremely proud. I will say that I initially thought that he wouldn't leave until like mid-June.
Sure.
So this May early start date got me a little twisted. And
you didn't even get a chance to say my baby.
Right.
Look at you.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. I got a lot of questions about, did you cry at graduation? I'm like, I didn't have time. I gotta, gotta get him packed, gotta get him ready to go. But it's exciting. I'm excited for him and ready to see him do some big things. So.
Yeah. What's your mindset, bro? Like, when I say that, I mean in the sense like, all right, we know you about to go to college and play football. You trying to start? You just trying to be on the team? What's your mindset going in to play football?
Obviously, everybody's gonna want to get on the field and get some play time. So I just got to go in there and like
everybody's at the next level now. So you got to be like, you can't just be like, oh, this freshman that's just coming in here to join the team. You gotta stick out. I gotta get in the weight room. I gotta learn the plays quick. I gotta execute the plays good. I gotta stick out to all the coaches.
Right.
For people who don't know, you're a national level long jump, triple jump guy, and you've been that way. Not to talk bad about the old staff, but they thought of you as just a track guy.
Right.
You're not just a track guy who plays football. You're a football player and a track guy, right?
Right.
You're athlete.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that, how Matt Rule because he loves track guys, how they allow you to balance to do both of them.
He had done that at Baylor, and it really started with my offer from Texas Tech. One of the coaches from Texas Tech had contacted Matt Rule, told him that he should offer me because they watched my film and they believe that I can be a great Division I player, and that's really how it got started. They love speed and they think that they can develop speed. Well, I know they can develop speed. I've seen what they did at Baylor.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to.
Who your roommate when you get down there?
I don't know for sure, but
oh yeah, he like fresh. You like hit the stage, graduate. You know nothing. You just showing up, huh?
We still trying to open up emails.
Right. You still getting offers, bro.
Also, for people who don't know, Dahlia Ingram at the time, amazing athlete down at University of Nebraska. You 11-time or 9-time All-American?
9-time.
9-time. I'll give you too many All-Americans.
That's crazy.
How old was he when you first put him on the track? I know it was like 6 months, but how old was he when you first put him on the track?
His first official track meet was Cornhusker State Games.
Yeah.
He was 3 years old.
He was 3 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you can get in that at 3.
Yeah. And it was so funny because he lined up and everybody's all taller than him. And he had been watching for a while. And he was really afraid of the gun.
Yeah.
So when I
he went like this for it.
Flinch. Don't flinch.
When I tried to get him in those blocks, oh no,
Yeah.
He was not having it. So there's a
you remember
picture.
no.
There's a picture that was on KETV where I'm kneeling down next to him and he's turned away from the starting line because he was about to go the other direction. And so I'm trying to talk him into doing it. So he eventually did it.
Yeah.
He got clapped in.
Yeah.
Which is a track joke.
Yeah. Sure.
Like, you don't want to get clapped in. I mean, you're slow.
No, I know. I know.
How quickly did you know though that he had talent?
Pretty quickly. I mean, he would, kid you not, people talk about this all the time. He would throw the football to himself. He was the announcer. He was the quarterback. He was the receiver.
Bugs Bunny playing all the positions.
Yes, he really just since he could walk was just all about sports. In his child care, he was out in the playground racing everyone. He's just always.
Where you go to daycare at?
He went to child care.
Child care
at Child Saving Institute.
CSI.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So my kids went. She was the director of the program.
Yeah. Got to plug something.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I will tell anybody out there that the reason why both my kids are honor roll kids, the reason why they are academic like they were, because of the head start they got at CSI. There's no doubt.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My son, he about to go too.
Yeah. You better send him over there.
Yep.
So tell me this, as a mom, I mean, I got a son myself, he's 4. Like, with all the accolades you got, we haven't even dove into you, but once he was born, did you feel like I want him to run track or I want him to be great at sports? Or were you that mom that's like, kind of whatever he wants to be, he can be? Did this just happen, or
no? It really just happened. I didn't push anything. I just kind of went where he went, right? What he was interested in. I have an older daughter too, who also ran track. She played a little basketball. So sports was just part of our DNA.
Sure.
And so it wasn't anything that I ever had to force on him.
Yeah.
It was just something that he wanted to do, and I just followed. And he played baseball, basketball, football, track. Like he did it all, and we supported him in whatever decision he wanted to make at the time.
Talking about you being little, I mentioned you before we started. I was at Tristan Alvano's graduation party, and a picture of you guys
he a cool dude,
playing basketball together. Cool. What kind of relationship do you still hang with Tristan? Yeah. You guys are still cool?
For sure.
Did you get an invite to his graduation party?
I did, but I was asleep, so I didn't.
The thing was 4 hours long, dude. It was 1 to 5. You was asleep the whole time. No, I was playing. No, but it's kind of cool what you guys have had. Obviously, that relationship that long.
Yeah.
Any of the other guys? So there's 5 wide receivers coming in. Obviously, Malachi's a local guy that's in there. Any relationship with those guys who are coming in with your class?
I talked to Malachi. I haven't been in communication with like Jaden Doss or any of the other ones yet, but I'm sure once we get down there, we'll talk a lot. So yeah.
Speaking of high school, man, let's talk about Central.
Right.
You know,
that's where he went to school, by the way.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a few little, stats there too myself. That's my pride, and my joy.
They won 3-time state champions in basketball, consecutive years.
Right.
In case you didn't, he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, though.
Not yet.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing about Central, I want to know is when you were there, did you feel like the whole time that you was like, I got to get up out of here if I want to be successful? I mean, or like, how'd you get to the point that you say, I got to go to Westside? Like, how did that happen? I mean, I remember watching, you had like I just kind of feel like you had a 100-yard game on one catch or something. Like, you were phenomenal, bro. And, but like, how did it end up? Like, how was your experience at Central and what made you want to leave?
I would say my experience as a whole was really good. Football was decent, but track was like always. It was I won a state championship as a sophomore.
Dang.
And junior year we got runner up, and the senior year we was expected to go and win state.
Yeah.
But then it was just that in football, like I wouldn't be touching the ball till like the second half. So I'm like I can't just keep getting like 2 touches a game.
Right.
When I know I can go somewhere else and they'll give me the ball, or
sure.
I can show a little bit more of what I can do.
Do you feel like it was a thing where it was like, you know how in boxing they say styles make fights? Do you think it was just the type of offense they had, or you think it was more political?
I think it was the type of offense we had. Like, we love to run right up the middle. Like, I think we always call ourselves eye back high. So
sure.
We just
that is true.
Yeah,
we couldn't get out of that eye back high phase and realized that we had talent on the outside on the skill positions.
For sure.
From Gale Sayers through Amon Green. They had some pretty good eye backs there. Not bad at all.
Ronell Grigsby.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good one. I was in the Hall of Famers. But that was pretty good. It's pretty good, too.
My God. Funny.
What's your feeling nostalgia-wise of him going to Nebraska? Because you had so many memories there. What's that like for you?
It's exciting to be able to see him, what's the word I'm looking for? Compete on the same runway that I competed on, like the same exact runway that I competed on.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And there's been so many times that I've taken him up to the indoor facility to point out my name.
Yeah, like before the point where you're at now?
To do that. And so it's just, it's indescribable.
Well, who your role models growing up?
Your mom. Say her first.
No. we get that. Legend. Let me go ahead
first,
for you.
and then you go wherever you want
Legend.
after that.
And I, respectfully, because like mom is mom,
right?
But like she like super mom with the accolades. So I feel you.
Yeah.
But aside from mom,
right?
Who else like was your inspirations for you to be who you are today?
For track and football?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Football first was DeAnthony Thomas for sure.
Okay.
That's why I wore the number 6. That's what I And then track, it was definitely Christian Taylor.
Okay.
I watched him growing up, and then I had text him one day, and he texted me back, and I just like,
wow.
Do you think he's gonna hit you back?
Nah,
That's what's up.
So
that's awesome.
That was a special moment for me.
Where do you get your confidence from? Because I've watched you in other interviews. I've read interviews you've done in a newspaper. It's obvious that you're both confident off and on the track and on the field. Where'd you get that from, you think?
I definitely say that's from my mom.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in yourself, then who will? So you
right.
just gotta carry yourself like that all the time.
Yeah, you look like the type of person. I get this vibe from you that like you recognize your contemporaries, but you wager about yourself. It's like you're not worried about them more than you worry about your own. You know, that's the Michael Jordan mentality, man.
Right.
You know, so I can old school. Your mom put that in you. You know, so no, that's big. I can see that.
It's funny that you talk about MJ because that's how we approached state this year.
Man,
because we had an MJ mindset this year.
Who to go? Who to go?
LeBron.
Oh man, you knew he was gonna say that. He just turned 17 years old. No, I mean he wasn't even alive when MJ was playing. Did you watch The Last Dance though? I mean,
I did.
That's kind of
pretty. I'll say
cool.
this. Let me say
Did you watch
this
Air yet?
Nah, we're supposed to watch that.
Okay.
So for people, look, it's not even. This is just my perspective, speaking on behalf of people who like think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. My opinion. It's not about eras. It's about when it comes to like how dominant somebody was for so long amongst the other stars in the league, and how I'm gonna go another route with you. He won 3.
You went and played baseball
for 2 years, came back, and he won 3.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like you got that in you, you know, and like his dominance. You know, he got the highest career average ever in NBA history. There's so many things about Michael, but like
he never was in a Game 7 in the finals. They never had to play Game 7.
And so I think is for me. I guess I'll leave it at this with you, like his competitive edge and how dominant he was towards his contemporaries is what makes him essentially assumed to be the greatest to a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Like imagine
and
if,
LeBron's good too.
Yeah, imagine if Michael Jordan was LeBron's size.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you got that in you, bro. Yeah, for sure. But I can respect that. You grew up in the LeBron era.
Can you break down what do you call him?
I
you call him
Legault. Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
La Sweet.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Listen, like I'm not hating on LeBron. I just think it's funny to compare, you know, to go to.
He says he's not hating on him. He don't even have him too.
No, I don't.
He don't even have LeBron too.
No.
You got Magic too?
No, I got Kareem too.
Yeah. Which is he's a bad boy.
Yeah.
The most unstoppable force in the history. Well, Will Chamberlain, but the second most unstoppable force in the history of basketball. Is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook.
Yeah.
It just he could score 30 on you just like that. But that's a whole nother story.
Different time.
Different time, exactly. Yeah. What kind of parent are you in the stands?
Loud.
Really?
Sound like my mom, man.
My boy was watching. He was watching some of his videos, and he goes, "Do you hear that in the background?" I said, "What is that?" He goes, "That's my mom." I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
No matter how many people at the state title game, you know that screen.
Your mom.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Are you active?
Yeah, I'm loud.
Yeah,
I pace because I get really nervous.
Yeah, you're an athlete.
Yeah, and because I did the events that he does, I can feel it. I can feel when he's on the runway. I can feel when he's in the air. I know what it's like. And so I get really, really nervous, and I get really, really loud, and I can get a little competitive.
So let's kind of talk about that state championship game. You know, some of the things that he's done is like seem like out of body experience, right? Like for you as his mom, like I know you know what he's capable of, but has he done anything to surprise you yet? Like I didn't know he was like that. Like.
Yeah.
You know, kind of talk about one of those moments where you feel like he done something on the field or on the track where you felt like, man, that's something that I didn't even expect to happen.
Yeah. Not so much in track because, pedigree, but.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I will say in football.
Oh, yeah.
I watched him at Central, and I'm not a football fanatic, right?
Sure.
I follow football because of Jaylen.
Yeah. Right.
But I watched him at Central, and like he mentioned earlier, like he didn't get a lot of touches, and so for me, I equated that to okay, so maybe he alright, you know?
Yeah, like
right.
I feel you.
Yeah,
yeah.
But then when I watched him at Westside, and the things that he was doing with the ball and to opponents, that's when I was amazed at him as a football player.
What was it like on the sideline? Tristan's going to kick a 5th field goal. Obviously, it's for all the money, right, and the title. What was that like for you on the sideline? What were you doing? Were you praying? Are you standing? What were you doing?
Our sideline actually knew he was going to make it.
Oh yeah, I knew he was going to make it. Yeah.
I knew he was going to make it too.
But still, I mean,
like I don't really get that nervous. So
really,
I'm just telling my teammates around like, what are y'all freaking about? He's about to make it.
Yeah,
right.
And then we got this thing that we do like called Well, it's about like just being positive. Us being positive is going to attract his positivity.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to make the kids.
Like speaking to existence?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. What kind of coach is Coach Lamanji? And was his first year last year? So you walked in as a new kid on the team with a brand new coach. Right. What was that like?
Lamanji is like strictly business.
Oh, yeah. Youngstown, baby. Youngstown, Ohio.
It's rubbing off.
When he says
about that action.
Effort and toughness, that's like exactly what he means. He wants like almost perfection out of us every time. Like in practice, if we could like have a great play, but if one tiny things go wrong, we have to run it again. Like I like that about him. Like he's not just gonna settle for being good. He wants to be great every time.
Sound like Michael Jordan to me.
Sounds like Coach Rule.
Yeah.
And what he does in practice too.
So what do you do like to be elite? Like some people just got it. Like LeBron is one of them. I feel like if he didn't put in as much work, he'd probably still be that nice.
Right.
But for you, like, one, is it more talent than skill? And then when it comes to skill, how much extra work do you do outside of the requirements to be who you are today?
I'd put a lot of work just going from one sport immediately to the next sport. I think I work really hard. I would say I work a lot harder than most people. Just being able to stay in shape, stay healthy. Going into high school, I never played receiver. So then we had COVID year. I never got to play receiver. So going into my sophomore, junior year, I had to actually learn how to like run routes, do releases.
Dang. So you just did that work by yourself at just in the field, or what?
I had Coach Abdul Muhammad. He played.
Oh, nice.
That's my guy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's my guy.
I worked with him a lot during the COVID, like almost every single day. We would just go up to like Nathan Hill or the Boys and Girls Club just to get some work in. And then going to Westside, we had Coach Rice, Tyler Rice.
Yep.
Amazing coach. He taught me a lot of releases this year, how to work on my routes. Then I went down to a camp with Coach Dub, Ravens receiver coach.
Oh, yeah.
I think that helped me a lot as well.
Dang.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what about I'm just so amazed, bro. I almost forgot what I was trying to say.
What do you weigh?
165 right
What do they want you to weigh?
I haven't talked to them about that. I'm probably going to be like 170, 175 when I get up there.
Yeah, what I was going to ask was, like, when I see you, I think of, like, Dante Smith, you know? But, like,
Devontae Smith,
sorry.
Yeah. Right. Well, he's thin, yeah.
Who on a pro level do you model your game after? Or who do you see yourself compared to right now on the highest level in the NFL?
I watch a lot of receivers my size. So I would say like Jahan Dotson. We kind of the same height, same weight. I think I played more similar to like a Jameson Williams, fast type of guy, get out of breaks quick.
Yeah.
If you can get drafted anywhere, dream team, where would you want to go?
You have a favorite NFL team? Because most kids your age, I've learned they don't.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. They play somebody on Madden, but they don't care who it is.
Yeah, right.
I don't have like a team I would want to play for, but like a person I would want to play with is like either Marvin Harrison Jr. or Justin Jefferson.
Nice.
Yeah, my two favorite receivers right now.
So you empty nester now?
Yeah.
Wow. Kinda. What's that gonna be like?
I don't know. So our daughter is back home.
Oh, okay.
She goes to UNO, but she's living at home. But I think she'll be moving out soon too.
Okay, you hope, huh?
Yeah. So it's gonna be weird.
Last thing, because this is important. The nails. Let's see.
Come on, man. Let me see it.
They look. They fire. When the kids say they fire, they look fire to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I need a feel.
I need a feel.
Yourself, or did you go to a place?
I go to a place.
Okay.
Down the street from my house. So.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Do they supply like a martini with it or no?
No.
Have you done that? Have you gone to the ones that have the? Yeah, you guys live it up. I'm just talking about Chris goes, and I'm like, she goes 4 hours to get your nails done?
Real
we had a drink, and we just sat around, and we got our feet done. I'm like, okay.
A little massage.
Sounds awesome.
Hey, I got one more question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's great.
Are you looking forward to the because we talk about this a lot with football. Are you looking forward to the Colorado matchup?
Yes. Yes.
Kind of talk about, like.
More than the Minnesota matchup?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I've been trying to tell him, man. Now, and I understand, like, it's not just about the team, but I just want to know, what's your perspective on Coach Prime, like, as a black man, as a coach, as a leader, even though you didn't go to Colorado, like, What does that do? What does he do to you when you see him, think of him? What comes to mind?
It's like it's inspirational. Like we need more black head coaches out there.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Willing to leave a HBCU and go to a D1 to rebuild a program it's kind of big. People kind of like tarnish them for it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's just a way to get yourself out there a little bit more. Like the HBCU was good, but now you're at Colorado. You got a bigger name for yourself.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to see him beat Nebraska, but I want to see him successful.
Yeah,
I want to see him actually.
We all do for sure.
Yeah, we all cheer.
Well, look, we really appreciate y'all.
No doubt.
I told you we at the crib, man. Just chop it up.
Dahlia Lloyd, her son, Jaylen as well. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for taking time. And good luck to you at Nebraska. We'll see you in Lincoln.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the Let It Fly show. Now we're talking to the newest Husker commit, Bellevue West quarterback Daniel Kaelin, joining us here on the Let It Fly show. We appreciate you taking the time and coming in, man.
Yep, for sure. When you guys reached out, I've seen the show on social media and wanted to get on for sure.
Yeah,
nice.
How's the last 10 days been for you, man? I mean, Rayola thing happened.
Yeah.
You decommit from Missouri, commit to felt like it happened overnight.
It was a business move, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it did happen really quick.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's been a wild couple days, but it definitely feels good to have it all out of the way. And I feel like I definitely made the right decision. So.
Yeah.
So I remember when you committed to Missouri, a big reason why you committed was the head coach, also just opportunity out there. What about Nebraska was, aside from the fact of coming back home, what was more appealing about Nebraska in comparison to Missouri to want to leave?
Yeah, like you said, a big piece was obviously being able to stay home, but I think even if you just go back before I committed to Mizzou and when Coach Rule first got there, I made 2 trips down there, and I felt like I was getting a really good connection with them. Just as far as the offense goes, I feel like I'm definitely a really good fit, especially, watching film.
Pro style, right?
Yep. I watched a lot of film of South Carolina with Coach Sat.
Sure.
Spencer, I think, is someone you can kind of compare to my game as far as, pro style quarterback, stuff like that. So it's just as far as the offense, I feel like it's really going to be a perfect fit. Coach Rule's come out and said, they're definitely going to be heavy. They want to establish the run and use the run to complement the pass game through play action and stuff like that. And then I think just, being able, like you said, being able to stay home, playing the Big Ten. There's more teams coming to the Big Ten. I feel like, the SEC and Big Ten are probably going to be the 2 biggest. So I think that's just going to be a good conference for me to be in. So I think those are some of the big things. But
What was that phone call like, though?
Yeah.
Because you were committed to one to Missouri to tell them that you weren't coming.
Wasn't easy.
You talked to Coach Drinkowitz? Is that who you talked to?
I called Coach Drink and Coach Moore. Those phone calls are never easy to have, but I think the more you get comfortable with those type of phone calls, the better type of person you can be. Obviously I had a really good connection with those guys, but I think like I said, it was the right decision for me. So to get it over with, felt good.
So kind of thinking about the 2 different schools or whatever. So what was the circumstance going to be like for you at Missouri? Like, even though you left, like, what was that circumstance versus the situation at Nebraska? Like, sometimes people will leave places even though it's like, I'm not going to say worse, when it comes to, like, depth chart and all that type of stuff. But, like, kind of compare, like, the situations.
What it would have been like at Missouri?
Yeah. What would it have been like at Missouri for you?
Yeah, and I think, these days it's kind of tough, especially with the transfer portal, to kind of project that stuff. But as far as Missouri goes, they brought in a 23 who was a pretty highly rated guy. They just got Jake Garcia, who's a transfer portal guy from Miami, who I presume will probably be the starter, just because the guy from last year, who's still on the roster, is going to be out just because he had a shoulder injury from last season.
Yeah.
And then as far as Nebraska goes, there's some guys that are kind of dabbling in the transfer portal. They could end up coming back. Obviously didn't take a 23, which is kind of appealing as far as my situation, knowing that there's not a guy in front of me. But like I said, it's kind of hard to project some of that stuff. And I know wherever I'm going to go, I'm going to have to come in and compete and earn everything, especially at that type of level.
I mean, there's nothing
bro,
in front of you because, I mean, obviously Sims has got 2 years, but he's legitimately a senior. Harburg's got 3 years, but again, he's been there 3 years. There's nothing in the freshman list. There's nothing in the sophomore list. It seems like it is a really good opportunity for you down the road here at Nebraska with the way it's set up in a depth chart wise.
Yeah, the way it is right now, it's definitely appealing. Like you said, not taking a 23, and then with Richard Torres, who I met last summer through with a little bit. Obviously, he's in the portal right now. Doesn't for sure know what he's going to do, but yeah, it's definitely appealing right now.
Interesting that way that works. So Let's talk a little bit about when you had a chance to work out for Nebraska and show them what you had.
Yep.
Talk about your workout and what were some of the things you did that they really liked.
Yeah, so me and Coach Huffman kind of have a really good routine down because we've had a lot of schools come in over the last 2 years. So, right now the rules are I can't actually talk to them in person when they come to the school, but we also had a lot of guys out with track. Davon, Isaiah.
Man, the good receivers.
So some dudes were out at track. So we had some DBs, come out of retirement from offense and play some receivers too. But
you hurt some people, didn't you?
Yeah. There were a few balls that hit some people in the face. Yeah. Started a quick game with some slants, hit a few guys in the face. I'll be honest, but yeah, what we usually do is just kind of go through the route tree, and especially sometimes depending on what college is there, we'll have more quarterbacks. But it was just me. I felt good. I threw well. Ended up, there's another drill we kind of do where I'll roll out. Huffman will kind of put all the receivers out. He'll call a name while I'm rolling out, and I kind of have to, react and throw the ball. But, it was just kind of a, normal throwing session, just so Coach Sat, could see me throw live, and it was good for him to see me. So.
Yeah, the eye test is different.
For sure.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. So speaking of, Isaiah and guys like that, I know you're trying to get them to come to the team, right?
For sure. Yeah, I've already reached out for sure to those guys. I see them every day at school. Just trying to paint that picture of what it could look like with us being there. Kind of continue what we're doing in high school at Nebraska. But also some other in-state guys. I'm pretty close with Carter Nelson. So I've already been hitting him up. I know Caleb Pyfron pretty well. I've been hitting him up. My guy Caleb Benning at Westside for sure. Had to hit him up. Just making sure that. I've already been in contact with a lot of out-of-state guys, but the in-state guys is what's important.
For sure.
We've let definitely way too many of those guys, leave this state. So I think keeping as many of those guys home will be, a good starting point as far as recruiting and getting things rolling in Lincoln.
Daniel Kaelin joining us here. So there's always a way to earn your position. And a lot of guys aren't earning their position now, but you did. You were backup. You earned it to become the starter. What did that teach you think, having that process?
Yeah, and I appreciate Coach Huffman because I feel like he's taught me a lot of lessons as far as that. He made me earn every single rep that I've gotten over my time at Bellevue West. I came in as a freshman, played JV, got a few, cleanup time minutes towards the end of some of the games. And then sophomore year, the very last week of freshman year, got 2 offers. And obviously that kind of builds some hype coming in. But Coach Huffman, he's had enough guys. He don't care about offers. You got to come in and earn it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And ended up rotating the first couple of games with Luke Johansson, who was a dude. And then he ended up, fully win the job the rest of the year. That ended up losing in the playoffs to Westside. And then so the year after that, I knew, it was going to be my year. There weren't any other guys in the QB room because Luke was leaving. So I think. And especially if you turn on the tape, you can just see, the work that I put in over the offseason as far as getting bigger, faster, stronger, developing really every avenue of my game. But like I said, it taught me a lot of lessons of, being patient, but also, I have to earn everything. Nothing's just going to be given to me, especially, the higher levels of football that I play. So I think it taught me a lot.
Who are some of the inspirations for you that, you model after in the pros right now, to emulate your game after? Or do you just feel like you kind of – in your own bag, trying to figure out your own way?
Yeah, I would say everyone kind of has their own style of play, but the guy I kind of like watching the most right now is Joe Burrow.
I was thinking that when you walked in there. I said, this dude remind me of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know Coach Keith Williams, receiver coach with the Ravens now. He calls me Burrow all the time, so that's kind of where some of that comes from. But, I love Joe Burrow. I love watching his game, and I think as good and as accurate and good of a football player he is, just kind of the way he carries himself, he leads others. He's got that mox, he's got that swag on the field.
Yeah, you gotta have that swag.
Some call it cocky.
It's swag,
but I love it though. You gotta have some of that. You gotta have some of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think as far as a pro guy, that's why I think I model.
Okay.
Coach Huffman always talks about how smart you are. So when you're using that big brain, what's more valuable to you? Pre-game scout, being able to read the field before play, or watching the tape afterwards, figuring out what you did right, what you did wrong? Where do you think you use that the most?
That's tough. I would say more important as far as game planning, just pregame. The more you pregame as far as watching film of a team, getting as much film in as possible, whether it's watching third down looks, kind of their favorite calls, different rotations. The more you kind of know that, and when you're in the game and you can kind of see that unfolding in front of your eyes, the slower the game, becomes for you and the more comfortable you are out there. So I'd say more important is watching film during the week and preparing yourself as much as possible, just so that kind of helps you feel more confident, in the game, slowing the game down. But
sure.
It's definitely important to watch, learn from your mistakes as far as after the game as well too. But yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of the game, obviously we know the history of Nebraska football and how it's been every single year. We were talking about swag, cockiness, however you want to call it. Coming in young as a freshman, what type of energy what's the energy like with the team? What's the sense of urgency like with the guys if you talk to try to turn the program around and not just be a building program but try to win now?
Yeah, I think the biggest parts of that I've seen is just talking to the staff, Coach Rule and Coach Satterfield. I've said this a lot in some interviews, but they're really competitive people, and I've said this before too. They don't want to just come in and just slowly build this thing. Obviously, it's gonna be year one. You can't expect them to get to a national show. No. But they're gonna win, I think, more games than people expect, and they're definitely planning on getting this thing rolling as quick as possible. I was just on with Thomas Fedone before this. I know Alex Bullock. I know a bunch of guys up there. And they say they love Coach Rule, the culture and energy that he's bringing. And like I said before about learning about nothing's given. Like, they're working hard up there for sure. And I think that's gonna help build this thing quicker than people expect.
What about your senior year? What are you doing during this off season? How are you gonna get better as a senior?
Yeah, it's really, like I said, I made a lot of improvement. I feel like from my sophomore to junior year. And I'm really trying to focus on really every part of my game again. I just want to get bigger, faster, stronger. I've already improved my 40 a lot as far as speed.
Really? What's the jump?
I finally got under 5'4'9".
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And you're a legit 6'3", right?
Yeah.
Yep. About 205.
Yep.
Somewhere in there.
Yep.
You're a big kid to be running there.
That's big time though.
And I think that's kind of more straight line speed, but I feel like the biggest parts I want to improve, and I feel like I already have pretty well, is my pocket movement, lateral speed, quick twitch type stuff, because I feel like that's more important, especially when you get to the upper levels. Just buying that half second of time to get the ball off. So just getting, like I said, bigger, faster, stronger. Obviously throwing as much as I can with my own receivers. Building a stronger connection and timing with them, so we can be more successful on the field. But I think those are the biggest things for me.
How many rushing touchdowns do you have? Because I know you had at least 2 against Gretna.
Only 2 total.
That was 2. Didn't you have 2 against Gretna?
Just 1. It was that one before the half.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
that was awesome.
We didn't know. We're standing on the sideline and we're like, dude, clock is ticking. You guys need to go.
Yeah. Well, it was 4th down, so I knew we might as well just let it kind of run.
Yeah.
And so that's actually kind of like you kind of see the Chiefs where Kelsey will or Mahomes will run and kind of toss it to Kelsey.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of reading the end, and if he comes out with me, I can toss it to Caden Eckernach, who was our tight end last year. And then Isaiah McMorris is kind of just doing like a little shuffle, and I can pitch it out to him as well.
Yeah.
And I kind of saw them, and I knew I haven't ran the ball at all this year. They're not going to expect me to run it. And they tightened down, and it was 1 yard. I just put my shoulder down and got the touchdown. But I remember that play. Gretna Stadium was packed. And
it was.
Wow. That was awesome. Before I snapped it, I was like, oh yeah.
Right.
That's the best. I mean, for me, going to a game, and I know what you guys
until the end. That was a really fun game.
That was one of the most competitive and crazy games I've been to.
I agree.
Yeah. Zane ended that game. That was a master class by him.
He's a great quarterback. I'd be cheering for him every time he takes the field in Oklahoma State.
Yep. I've been training with him since middle school. That's my guy for sure.
Really?
Now, when y'all were in middle school or whatever, was he then did you see him being who he is now back then?
He's always been just a really consistent thrower. And then after, he started his freshman year at Gretna, everyone around, especially around Warren Academy, those guys that knew him, we knew he was going to be what he was. He's just a really, really good kid, super hard worker, and they had a really good group at Gretna. That senior class they've been playing together since middle school through their feeder team. So that was just a really good group overall. But yeah, Zane's been legit for a while, and I can't wait to see what he does in college.
I was going to ask you about Warren Academy because so many kids have gone through this since you started. Yep. How much have they helped you get to where you are?
Huge. Especially I was the only 7th grader when they started the 7-on-7 circuit. It was my 7-on-7, or it was my 7th grade year when they started that 7-on-7 stuff, and I've been doing it ever since. This year was my last year doing it, and stuff like that's been huge. I feel like as far as one, just getting guys' names out there, and then just being able to compete in the off season. There's schools like in California, Texas, where they can play outside all the time with that weather. So just having that, that indoor facility where we can, just practice year round, compete with each other, and just especially for guys that aren't always multi-sport athletes. I think Steve has done an amazing job with Warren Academy and helping put put guys on as far as recruiting, but also just bring the overall talent around Omaha to a higher level.
One thing I noticed about Warren Academy is the graduates and alumni always come back and help.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep, there's a lot of that for sure.
I think that's huge, too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, shout out Steve Warren, man.
No doubt about that.
That's my guy.
You guys, it's not long ago, but Bellevue West hasn't won the title since 2019. Mm-hmm. Again, it's not that long ago.
That's in the back of your mind.
It feels like a while ago.
I would say it's been too long just because everyone knows the talent that we've had. There's been a lot of teams that have come in ranked number one. We haven't, gotten to where we want to be. So, I would kind of say it's been a little too long.
You think you have enough to get it done this year?
For sure. We have, pretty much the whole offense coming back.
Yeah.
Last year, I'm not going to say, the line was shaky, but a lot of inexperienced guys.
Yeah, for sure.
We only had,
that's true.
To end the year, we didn't have anyone over, 6 foot. But those guys have, I'm telling you, worked their butts off this offseason.
Yeah.
All those, as far as lifting, running, like, people aren't going to want to see them this year. They're going to be a lot better than people expect. And also, I was going to say, 3 of our linemen at the end of the year were sophomores. 1 freshman was rotating. We had 1 senior and 1 junior. So it's a young group, and they're all going to be coming back. Obviously, you know what we got with Davon, Isaiah.
Yeah.
A guy that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, Ben Goodwater.
Okay.
A guy that gives everything every play, and he's improved a lot this offseason too. He's picked up a couple of D2 offers. So, our offense is going to be firing again like it is last year. And then there's also a lot of guys, I think, that are going to kind of prove themselves on defense this year too. We got Asher Jenkins, who I think I'm still surprised didn't have any offers. Aiden Morris on D-line, Chris Lawson, a bunch of young guys, and Caprice Keith, who you guys might know, Arif Evans. So we're going to be a fun team. Obviously, we've been working really hard this offseason. Like you said, I think we definitely have what it takes, to get it done.
All right, well.
Yeah, I feel like West was like one of those teams where it's almost like the Lakers and the Nuggets. Like, I feel like West should be winning.
Yeah.
But you don't end up.
Yep.
I mean, Westside was loaded, and and we know how good Gretna was the last couple of years. So maybe it's your turn.
Yeah. And like I'll say with that, I think there's a lot more than just as far as like our team. I think there's more. Some of the stuff as far as like on the mental side, we finished every half with the lead this season, and so it's more and that always hurts.
That's why I said the Lakers.
Yep. So I think there's part of it where kind of just as far as like our offense mentality, we got to kind of. Coach Huffman likes to take shots, so it's kind of like our identity, to push the ball. And so I think something this year we got to improve on is kind of learning, how to play when we're with the lead. I don't think we really should try to, run the clock out. I feel like we got to, kind of keep our, our true offense mentality and just keep,
just
trying
play.
To push the ball, just play.
Just
don't think about it too much. And I think that's something we got to do
Don't
this
play
year.
to not lose.
Yep.
Yeah. I always say put your foot in the gas all the way to their throat.
Yep.
Just all the way.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Well, congratulations on your decision, and we appreciate it, man.
Yep.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Yep, for sure.
All right, welcome back. Wrapping up this episode of Let It Fly show. So Big Ten baseball tournament's happening downtown in Omaha. It's always a big event around here.
That's a big deal, bro.
We're taping on Tuesday. Nebraska plays tomorrow. As of so far today, Iowa beat up on Michigan 13-3, and Indiana squeezed by Illinois 4-3. You had the other game tonight, and then you have Nebraska playing on Wednesday. They play the winner of the number 1 seed Maryland and Michigan State. So that'll be on Thursday. It is a big deal down there for a lot of people. Brings a little money to the city too, and Nebraska.
Have you ever thought about if the hometown team went to the College World Series?
It's happened. I mean, so in 2005, I was working at Channel 7 at the time, and Nebraska made the College World Series for the second time, and they had to do this lottery.
Okay,
there's about 200. It's about 2,000 tickets that they hold aside, so you could upgrade from having a GA to having a reserve, and they keep those. And they had to do a lottery because there were thousands of people out there trying to get those reserve seats to watch Nebraska play.
Wow.
And so they went out there and they had these little tickets and you had to get a line, and it was hard to do. They got it done. But yeah, Nebraska making it. And I wasn't around when Creighton made it in 91, but I was around in 05 when Nebraska made it. That was pretty cool.
Is there and it's not that I watch baseball way less or more, but like NIL should be popping in baseball too.
Yeah, I mean, and they need it more.
Yeah.
This is you're talking about these kids are paying.
Yes.
Because you only have a certain amount of scholarships. I think it's like 14.9 or 15.1 for everybody to be spread out. So those guys actually need it more.
Right.
So yeah, we hope they get that, and we hope Nebraska does very well at the Big Ten tournament. Does well enough. Hopefully wins it. They got the opportunity to do that, of course.
Exactly.
Maryland's really good. We talked about Iowa being very good, so it's tough teams to get through. So enjoy that if you get a chance to go down to Charles Schwab Field, the Chuck. I want to call it TD. Get to the Chuck. So Thank you to Dahlia Lloyd and Jaylen Lloyd for coming in. That was really fun. If you missed it, you want to check that out, of course. Daniel Kaelin joined us as well after he decommitted from Missouri.
Joe Burrow.
The Joe Burrow of Bellevue West as well. As always, we want to thank Pat Safford and Hurrdat Sports for putting this together. Our guy, Phil, who's not here, Phil McClain, for booking guests as well. I think next week we're going to be talking to a couple of state championship coaches. That's the plan.
I hope.
Phil's not here.
I've been waiting on this one.
That's the plan. That's the hope.
Cool.
As of always, I'll remind you again, always a great time to give Omaha Steaks for a present. And June 16th is opening day for the Let It Fly Sports Bar in the Capital District. Take us away, Josh.
Hey, look, we can't wait to see you with us June 16th.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Josh Jones. On behalf of my man Michael Severe, you know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly show.